जय गजानन। गणेशाय नमस्तुभ्यं। हेरंबाय एकदंतिने स्वानंदवासिने तुभ्यं ब्रह्मणस्पतये नमः. Today we shall see the story of Prachetas. Sorry, Prachetas is over. Prachetas, that's 10 sons who married the daughter of the forest. The Chandra gave the daughter of the forest, and then she bore him Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati is the one to whom Mudgalacharya is now telling this story, this legends of Ekadanta. This section, so every manvantara there is a new Prajapati. So in this new Prajapati, this Daksha Prajapati, who is a son of Prachetas, now he is listening to from Mudgalacharya. Just like in every Chatur Yuga, there are 72, 71 and a half to 72 Chatur Yugas in one Kalpa. In one kalpa there are 14 manvantaras. So in every manvantaras there are some number of chatur yugas. So in chatur yuga there is Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. In every Chatur Yuga, there is no incarnations. Incarnation, now for example, Rama Avatar happened in the 24th Chatur Yuga of this Manvantara, whereas now we are in the 28th Chatur Yuga. So the Rama Avatar did took place 30,000 years ago, 48,000 years ago. So it is not actually not 5 or 8 or 1,000 years. People conjecture or make up stories when the stories are repeated by the pravachankars and the katha in kathas and all. So it is repeated, but then sometimes the story resembles a great personality of that period of time. So then that story gets added. Somebody by the name of same Ramachandra might have been, or Rama would have been, and then that story, just like a lineage, Dasharatha lineage, even the Janaka lineage, Janaka dynasty was some years ago. Century, this where Sita was born was in the 24th Chaturyuga. So after that, also there was Janakas with the name Janaka. So it could possibly be that subsequent additions to the Rama Avatar story of Rama would have been relating to the daughter of that Janaka. Anyway, so this in this Manvantara, Daksha is a Prajapati, and now Daksha afterwards meditated for 100 years. He meditated for 100 years at the when Prachetas they left for the forest for doing penance. They handed over the kingdom to Daksha Prajapati, and they also told naturally he would have been given diksha or initiation by his father on Ganesha mantra. So on that Ganesha mantra, he meditated for 100 years, Daksha Prajapati. So as a result of this, he became since Ganesha manifested and granted him boons, and because of those boons, he was he got mantra siddhi. Mantra siddhi means he was able to get the creative powers of that mantra, and he created devas, yakshas, human beings, pishachas, and others in thousands. So at the beginning of creation, so many species were created. We saw so many species getting created. So also, because in this Manvantara, where Daksha Prajapati also, through mantra siddhi, he was able to do creation of all these species. Despite creating the different universes, after creating universe also, there was no propitiation. That is, there was no multiplication of these these species. So what he did, he wanted to create a husband and wife. He created a husband and wife so that through sexual union there will be multiplication of human beings. So Daksha Prajapati, he married Dharani. Dharani, um, you can say the dharti. This dharti came from the word dharani. Dharani is the one who carries or who bears. That's the meaning of dharani. Dhari iti dharani. So the one who bears. So dharani, he married dharani and he begot from her 10,000 sons. Now, but this 10,000 sons, what they did, they were not interested. Now he told them, Daksha Prajapati told, now go do penance and get that knowledge of creation and start doing the work of creation. So when they, of course, they accepted his command very reverentially, and they started doing meditation and penance and all. And when they got the knowledge, here also, when they went to the forest for meditation and they were sitting in meditation, Narada comes there and he gives them the mantra and he gets initiated, and they get initiated, and then they start, they learn the process of meditation. When they, after learning the process, they realized that knowledge was better. The higher consciousness was much better than creation. They didn't want to get entangled in Maya of creation. So they decided to become mendicants. That is, they decided to only follow the path of yoga as instructed by Narada, and they did not. They refused to procreate as per the instructions of Daksha Prajapati. They started worshipping Ganesha, and then they became Ganapatyas. Now, Daksha Prajapati was disappointed. He's saying, all these 10,000 sons I created for procreating, none of them are obeying me. So he married another wife. He married Ashikni or Virini. Asikni, or another name was Virini, who was the daughter of Panchajana Brahma. Panchajana Brahma. And she bore him 10,000 Haryashwas and Sabalashwas 1,000. Haryashwas are uh, they are a species. They may not be human beings. Ashwa is basically horse, means horse-like character, but Hari is human being. So mixture of that, and he that were 10,000 in number. They also preferred to do meditation, and they also went to the forest to when Daksha asked them to do penance. They went to the forest. There again they met Narada, and Narada initiated them, and they also didn't want to do any procreation. They wanted pure knowledge, and so they followed the path of yoga. Now, this other 1,000 sons, Sabalashwas, they also, when Daksha realized this, it's, they too left. Okay, they too left, and the path of karma. They didn't want to do this karma and all this, enter into Maya, procreation, and all of that. And they also did penance and followed the path of yoga. Daksha was furious. He said, this Narada came and initiated them, and all of them are becoming yogis, and nobody is doing any creation. So Daksha was furious, and he pronounced a curse on Narada. He said, Narada, you will not bear any son. You will not be able to procreate, and you will be wandering from Swarga Loka to Earth to Patal Loka, and you'll be continuously wandering. And you will not be able to stay in one place beyond 2 muhurtas. One muhurta is equal to 48 minutes. So 2 muhurtas is 96 minutes. In one place, you will not be able to stand for more than 2 muhurtas. He cursed him and relieved his anger on Narada. So then he said, okay, now I'll have to find some other solution. This Narada is creating problems. So he went to Brahmadeva. When Daksha Prajapati went to Brahmadeva and prayed to Brahmadeva, and he said, see this, this is what my condition is. I'm procreating. We got 10,000 sons first, then another, I got 10,000 sons, and again another 10,000 sons, and another 1,000 sons. Still none of them are interested in procreating. They're all becoming yogis, and they want to attain moksha only and continuously engage in meditation. So now what to do? So Brahmadeva suggested, now Brahmadeva advised Daksha Prajapati, you should give birth to daughters, 60 daughters. Give birth to 60 daughters. Through Virini, he got 60 daughters. Okay. You must father beautiful daughters. So hearing the words of Brahmadeva, Daksha returned to his abode, and then he commenced procreation. 60 beautiful daughters were born to his wife Virini. They mothered all kinds of living creatures. Some of them gave birth to animals, some of them gave birth to birds. Variety of creatures were born from these 60 daughters. So Out of these 60 daughters, now we shall see the lineage, how the procreation happened. Maybe we have seen it before, I don't know, I'm not very sure. But the 60 daughters, out of them, 10 were given to Dharma. Dharmaraja, he was given 10 daughters. Rishi Kashyapa was given 13 daughters in marriage. Then 27 daughters were wed to Chandra. 4 were wed to Arishtanemi Bahuputra. Arishtanemi, 4 were given to Bahuputra, Arishtanemi. So how many? 10 plus 13, 23 plus 27, 50 daughters are gone. 4 year, 54. Arishtanemi got 4. Bahuputra wed 2 daughters, so 56. And 2 were wedded to Kushashwa. And Angiras were given 2 daughters in marriage. So 54 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. So 60. All 60 were got married in this manner. Now listen to this, how the expansion of this lineage happened. The 10 daughters who were given in marriage to Dharmaraja were Marutvati, Vasuryami, Arundhati. These are the names of those daughters. Marutvati, Vasuryami, Arundhati, Lamba, Bhanu, Sankalpa, Muhurta, Sadhya, Vishwa, and Bhamini. So if you hear of any of your friends or relatives having any of these names, remember that these were from the lineage of Dharmaraja. Listen to the details of their progeny. Vishwadeva was born to wife Vishwa. Sadhya begot Sadhyas. Marutvanta was born to Marutvati. From Vasu was born Vasu. From Bhanu was born Bhanu. From Muhurta was born Muhurtaka. From Lamba was born Nada and Ghosha. From Yami was born Nagavitika. From Arundhati was born all that was different, that is Vishama. From Sankalpa was born Sankalpa. They were all righteous and virtuous sons and devas of this world. So all these who were born to Dharmaraja became gods. All were devas. Various functions of devas were assigned to them. Their sons and daughters populated the earth. So all their grandchildren and children and grandchildren all populated this earth. Then Apa, Dhruva, Soma, Dhanya, Anala, Anila, Pratyusha, and Prabhasa were the 8 children born to Vasu. And the second wife, Vasuryami. Then Diti, Aditi, Kadru, Arishta, Surasa, Danu, Surabhi, Tamra, Krodhavasa, Ira, Muni, Kasha, and Dharmajna were the 13 righteous daughters who were wed to Kashyapa Rishi. Kashyapa Rishi was married these 13 daughters of Daksha Prajapati, of whom Diti and Aditi. Diti gave birth to all gods, devas, Indra, Varuna, and everything. And Aditi gave birth to all demons. And so listen to the narration of their lineage. Vivaswan, Dhata, Bhaga, Amshaka, Twastha, Varuna, and many other devas were born to Aditi. Sorry, these gods were born to Aditi. From Diti were born all Daityas. Daityas, Danavas, all of them were born from Diti. All have been described in the scriptures. Various scriptures in Shiva Puran, Vishnu Puran, any Puran you take, you will get mention of Diti and Aditi. Diti, actually, Aditi was the first wife, then Diti is the second wife. That is Daityas, Danvas were born from Diti. Aditi gave birth to all Devas, including Indra, Varuna, and everybody. From Danu were born the Danavas. The important Danavas among them were Tarakasura, Viprachiti, Sambhara, Kapila, Swarabhanu, Shankara, Vrishaparva, Veera, and Dhira. Then Surasa, the fourth daughter, that is out of the 13 daughters, the fourth daughter. So Surasa gave birth to 1,000 sons who became famous as the Sarpa, snakes. Snakes were born from this fourth daughter. 1,000. Then fifth one, Arishta, gave birth to 1,000 Gandharvas, that is celestial musicians. O Prajapati, that is Mudgalacharya is narrating to Daksha Prajapati, O Prajapati, Sesha and other great snakes, Nagas, were born to Kadru. Kadru, the third daughter. Then from Tamra were born 6 beautiful daughters, namely Suki, Shreni, Bhasi, Grantika, Sugriva, and Suchi. From them were born the entire clan of birds. Birds were born from this daughter who was married to from the daughters of Tamra, who was married to Rishi Kashyapa. From them were born the entire clan of birds. Then from Surabhi were born innumerable cows and buffaloes. From Aira were born trees, creepers, grass, plants, etc. 33, then Yakshas, half demons. Yakshaganas are half demons, and Punyajana were born to Muni, to the Muni Kashyapa. From Krodavasa was born the terrifying Rakshasas. Then from Vinita were born 2 sons, Aruna and Garuda. Kechara and Preta were born sons of Kasha. These were the descendants of the Kashyapa lineage living among the animate and inanimate in the yuga of Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata Manvantara. Vaivasvata Manvantara in this yuga. These were born from Rishi Kashyapa. Those who have the Gotra, Kashyapa Gotra, are all from this lineage. So it could be that you were birds, you could have been animals, buffaloes, cows, everything you could have been in the previous earlier lifetimes. And then you graduated, you grew, evolved, and you became a human being. Okay? Following evolutionary, or it could be that you were among the human beings also. Then Arishtanemi's sons assumed the form of Vedas. Brahmaputra's wives begot 4 daughters who were the forms of lightning. The wives of Angiras gave birth to sons, Rishi and Rishatkrita. The highly respected Krusadhyaya's wife begot a sons, Deva Rishi Deva and Praharana. After a period of 1,000 yugas, 1,000 yugas means one yuga is 12,000. One yuga means a Chatur Yuga is 12,000 years. If it is Krita Yuga, it is 4,800 years. Treta Yuga is 3,600 years. Dwapara Yuga is 2,400 years. And Kali Yuga is 1,200 years. So totally is 12,000 years. So 1,000 Chatur Yuga, let us assume it is a Chatur Yuga. So 1,000 Chatur Yugas, they are recreated. At the end of a Manvantara, no, so 1,000 yugas here, it means any yuga. So we could include any of these 4 yugas. So at the end of a Manvantara, they are born again. That means at the end of a Manvantara, there could be a pralay, there could be some kind of destruction or annihilation, which could take the form of fire, it could take the form of floods, it could take the form of some kind of a disease, like how we saw corona and so many millions died. So it could take any form, and there will be an annihilation, and then they are all born again. Despite creating many sons, Kashyapa, the known of the divine principles, was not content. So he commenced austere penance for begetting more sons. Even after getting all these sons through so many daughters, he was not satisfied, and he started penance, doing penance. After severe penance, he begot two sons by the name of Vatsar and Asita. They were well versed in the sacred texts. Vatsar gave birth to Naidruva and the famous Raibhya. A Rudragana by the name of Dyutimanta was born to Raibhya. Naidruva, Naidruva also there is a Gotra named Naidruva Kashyapa Gotra. So this is also, so it shows the descendant of Kashyapa and then Naidruva. Naidruva married Maharshi Chavana's daughter named Sumedha. Sumedha gave birth to many sons named Kundapai. Asita's wife Ekaparna gave birth to a divine child named Devala. Now, see, if you see these kind of, when you from our Gotra, we know who which lineage, then you can also know the kind of character of who was the person who gave birth to. Whether he was born of a Rishi, Danava, Daitya, accordingly, you can come to know. So, accordingly, we'll have those kind of qualities. Now, Kashyapa Rishi gave birth to gods as well as Daityas, Danavas. So we must remember all these qualities are a permutation and combination of the three gunas, Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, and Tamoguna, which is existing in all of creation. So there will be good things and bad things. There will always be good people and bad people. So we need to choose what we want to choose, and we will attract also that kind of people towards us. So we cannot say that these people cannot exist and those people cannot exist. It is God's creation. God has created, or the divine's creation is there. Everybody will be there. Everybody has a place either on this earth, on the in the Swarga Loka or Patal Loka. So they're all existing. So one species destroying the entire other species cannot happen. If it happens, then the divine will incarnate and give strength to the weaker one, and will boost the strength of the weaker, or take the side of the weaker person, and then again re-establish balance of all the living creatures which was created originally. So Naidruva, this son, Asita's wife Ekaparna, gave birth to a divine child named Devala. This son became well known as Yogacharya, the Yogacharya. A Maharshi named Shandilya Rishi. Shandilya Rishi Gotra we have heard of. A Maharshi named Shandilya was born to Asita and was also a very eminent yogi and a knower of all philosophies. In this manner, Maharshi Kashyapa blessed the world with many virtuous sons. Even the Danavas, Daityas, they also learn Vedas and Shastras. Their teacher is Shukracharya. Shukracharya is a great devotee of Shankara, Shiva Bhakta. So all are existing, all have knowledge of everything. It depends on to what extent we evolve as a lineage, as a procreation, the procreation who comes in that lineage. It depends on each individual how much you develop or grow, acquire knowledge according to our potential. In this manner, Maharishi Kashyapa blessed the world with many virtuous sons. Anyone who reads or listens to this story of Kashyapa's lineage will be blessed with all desires. So, in this way, we end this chapter on description of Kashyapa's creation in the second khand of the Purana Upanishad, Srimad Mudgal Puran, which speaks about the legend of Ekadanta. We'll continue with the next chapter tomorrow. Take a nice deep breath and relax into yourself. See that your feet are firmly planted on the floor, spine erect, eyes gently closed. Set aside all your thoughts. Tell your mind, I'll attend to you later. Bring your focus on your breathing. Inhale to a count of 10 and exhale to a count of 10. See that your breathing is rhythmic. Now, as you breathe in, chant mentally so, and as you exhale, chant mentally hum. So, hum. So, as you inhale and hum as you exhale. As you inhale while chanting so, imagine the flood of pranavayu entering you and nourishing each cell in your body. And as you exhale and chant hum, you release carbon dioxide, which nourishes other living creatures around you. This is an exchange of life force between every living organism in this environment. What you inhale is the exhalation of the trees, and what you exhale is the food for the trees. So, as you inhale and hum as you exhale. You can understand it as I am that, that I am. So hum. As the macrocosm, I am the microcosm. What we take in from the air, we take in not only oxygen, but the pranavayu, the nitrogen, which, which is present in large quantity, which combine, which when it enters into the body, it absorbs oxygen and becomes nitrous oxide, which is the pranavayu. That becomes split as 5 other vayus or vital airs known as prana, apana, udana, vyana, and samana. It is these vital airs that conduct the various systems in our body. The circulatory system, the digestive system, the expiratory system, the excretory system, and the reproductive system. These are functions of absorptions and eliminations. Everything in this universe is dualistic in nature. Just as inhalation and exhalation, there is action or reaction, there is absorption, elimination. Just like as there is heat and cold, this world of dualities keep us engaged constantly, giving us a choice moment to moment. We have a choice of accepting one and rejecting another. In our workplace, we have a choice of doing a work, an activity in one way or the other. We often choose the easy way out. The easy way may not be a smart way. The quickest route may not always lead to the destination. There may be obstacles on the way. Mr. Chandler, I'll call you back. Sometimes the longer the route, the more learnings can happen, the more mature we become. Two paths may become in front of you, and the path you choose makes all the difference. We have seen many youngsters with high ambition driven, smart, clever, intelligent, brilliant, in fact, reach the top very quickly. And the downfall may also be as quick. That's not necessarily the case. Destiny also guides us. Destiny also plays an important role in this. And destiny is always based on karma. So if you fail very early in life, it's not necessarily a punishment. It's just that the time required for executing the prarabdha karmas, the backlog of karmas that we carry from previous life. In previous lives, we have accumulated a huge backlog of karmas, but all of them cannot be exhausted in one lifetime. Hence, small portions are released for execution in each lifetime. It is these prarabdha karmas that delay our progress in life. Sometimes we may rise like a meteor mainly because the circumstances for our rising was conducive, while the circumstances for fulfilling those prarabdha karmas had not risen yet. We need conducive circumstances for those prarabdha karmas to be executed. So there is nothing that is good or bad. It just happens because this world is not the same moment to moment. It's not planned. It everybody is following their individual paths, and these paths clash. So circumstances will happen changeably. Even when we draw a PERT chart for a project, we always provide for contingencies. That's why there is a provision for forgiveness. Forgive yourself if you are not able to achieve during a given period. This is the give and take, the dualities of life. Accept the fact that we have reached our pinnacle. Even in share markets, there is a time when things level out. Allow for this natural ups and downs gracefully. Today, when we are faced with a challenge, look out the options before you, choose long term, and act in the moment. So, what will be the guiding point or guiding star in your choice? Those are the values that you stand for. The values that have stood the test of time, the values you could die for, the values you will never compromise under any circumstance, the values you uphold, the values that have taught you lessons, the values you expect from others. The values that brings the larger good. Depends on your vision. Your vision may be large enough for putting the nation first. Then maybe your community. Then your family. As an individual, you will be always evolving. When you have a larger vision based on a stronger value, the ego will not come in the way. It's only when the values are petty, small, narrow, that ego will assume larger than life proportions. Always value your values. Be guided by scriptures, by your elders, by people who are your whom you hold in high esteem. And have the courage to stand up for your values. As we saw in this chapter today, there is a variety of creation in this world, in this universe. All have a place. And as management principle says, there should be a place for everything and everything in its place. And there is this kind of organized existence. There is accommodation for all. There is a healthy exchange of material and ideas. We were all born to be participants in this creation. And we are aligned, we co create with the universe. In this process, we realize our potential, what we are capable of. It's a learning process, and it's an ongoing process. What was true 100 years ago is not true now. In terms of circumstances, laws change, but the laws that is universally accepted with the consensus should be upheld. We live in a society of coexistence. While we enjoy rights, we have a duty to perform. Responsibilities may be assumed even without authority. But when authority is given, it goes without saying that there is a responsibility attached to it. So when Daksha Prajapati was given this task of creation, of life on earth. He had a huge responsibility. And in the process, he prayed to the divine to give him the skills necessary to bring about the creation. So also, let us be humble in our skills to execute the task given to us. It's not always that we may succeed. So, eternal vigilance, being totally aware of all aspects, is necessary every moment. Approach every moment using all your sense organs, faculties. Sharpen them through yogic practices or any other practice that you may be drawn to. Keep yourself fighting fit. Bring all your awareness to your breathing. Brace yourselves together for a strong, fulfilling day ahead. Slowly wriggle your fingers and toes. Rub your palms together. Cup your palms, place it on the eyes. Gently rub your eyes and face. And when you're ready, open your eyes.